Hey blues fans, you found us, and we're really glad you did. It's time for another episode of This Week of the Blues. It's our weekly take on blues history. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Matson, with the blues band Big Train and the Loco Motives. We're your favorite blues nerds. So let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. Texas blues guitar player, singer, and songwriter Long John Hunter was born July 13th in 1931. Now, Hunter was born in Louisiana, raised in Arkansas, and by his early 20s was working in a box factory in Texas. He bought his first guitar after attending a B.B. King concert. He adopted the stage name Long John Hunter in 1953. He released 7 albums in his own name, and in his later years found critical acknowledgement outside the U.S. Hunter's best-known tracks are El Paso Rock and Alligators Around My Door. Blues musician washboard Sam Brown was born July 15th in 1910. He was reputedly the half-brother of Big Bill Broonzy. Now in the 20s, he performed with Sleepy John Estes and Hammy Nixon in Memphis. In the 30s, he moved to Chicago, performing regularly with Broonzy, Memphis Slim, and Tampa Red. In 1935, he began his own recording career and became one of the most popular Chicago blues performers of the late 30s and 40s, selling numerous records and playing to packed audiences. He recorded over 160 tracks in those decades. Blues harp player Willie Cobbs was born July 15th in 1932. Cobbs is best known for his classic, You Don't Love Me, which has been covered by the Allman Brothers, Magic Sam, and John Mayall, among many others. Born in Smale, Arkansas, Cobbs moved to Chicago in 1951, where he occasionally performed in local clubs with Little Walter, Eddie Boyd, and others. Cobbs released singles from various labels, and he ran nightclubs in Arkansas and Mississippi through the 1970s and 80s. He's performed at the King Biscuit Blues Festival and the Chicago Blues Festival. Soul and blues star Denise LaSalle was born July 16th in 1939. After the death of Coco Taylor, LaSalle had been recognized as the Queen of the Blues. She was born in rural Leflore County in Mississippi, and her family moved to Chicago in her mid-teens. There she worked with the gospel group, the Sacred Five. In 1967, LaSalle made her first blues recordings and continued to record both blues and gospel albums right up until her passing in 2018. Now in 2011, she was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. Delta blues guitar and piano player Richard Hacksaw Harney was born July 16th in 1902. He first entered a recording studio back in 1928, playing guitar on tracks by Pearl Dixon and Walter Rhodes. The loss of his murdered brother, a speech impediment, and a naturally shy disposition were all factors in preventing Harney from achieving fame. He spent most of his working lifetime as a traveling piano tuner and repairer. He predominantly played on street corners and at juke joints, but also had a spell on the King Biscuit Time radio show based in Helena, Arkansas. However, Harney rarely recorded until his belated solo album in 1972. Okay, here's a weird one for you. On July 17th in 1967, Jimi Hendrix plays his 8th and final show as the opening act for the Monkees, which understandably does not go well, as the 10-year-old bubblegum-chewing Monkees fans want nothing to do with Hendrix. Go figure. Okay, on July 17th, 1925, that marks the birthday of Harrison Nelson Jr., better known as Peppermint Harris. Originally from Texarkana, Texas, he first recorded in the late 1940s, accompanied by his friend Lightnin' Hopkins. In 1951, he had his biggest hit, I Got Loaded, which reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard and R&B charts. He continued to record various singles through the 1950s and into the 60s, but none were as successful. He continued to record and play live over the next decades, working in both Shreveport and Sacramento before recording a final album in New Jersey on the Home Cookin' label in 1995. Blues guitar player Johnny Burgin was born July 17th in 1969. He's an extraordinary musician whose soulful playing and captivating performances have earned him a well-deserved reputation as one of the blues' finest guitarists. With a career spanning over 3 decades and growing, Burgin has become a respected figure in the blues community, admired for his technical prowess, deep understanding of the blues tradition, and ability to connect with audiences. He also let me borrow his Firebird at a music jam in Clarksdale, Mississippi a few years ago, so hey Johnny, thanks. Guitar player Lonnie Mack was born on July 18th in 1941. Now Mack was a self-taught musician who developed a unique blend of blues, rock, and country that kind of defied categorization. Now Mack's virtuoso guitar skills were evident from an early age, employing techniques such as string bending, vibrato, and fast-paced solos. His signature instrumental track, Memphis, showcased his incredible talent and became a blueprint for future generations of guitarists. Chicago blues guitar player Buster Benton was born on July 19th in 1932. Despite the amputation of parts of both of his legs during the course of his career, Benton never gave up playing his music. During the 1960s, he cut a series of soul-slanted singles before hooking up with the great Willie Dixon in 1971. Now, Benton was a member of Dixon's Blues All-Stars for a while, and Dixon is credited as songwriter of Benton's best-known song, the slow blues Spider in My Stew. The man they call the Blues Maestro, Little Freddie King, was born July 19th in 1940 in Macomb, Mississippi. Despite the name, his style is not based on that of Freddie King, but is more influenced by John Lee Hooker, and his approach to electric blues is original to himself. His style is characterized by a powerful, rhythmic approach that blends intricate fingerpicking with forceful strumming. His guitar tone is gritty and soulful, reflecting the hardships and joys of a life dedicated to the blues. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or the other things that happened this week in the blues, and there's a lot of them, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week where we'll talk about blues guitar player T-Bone Walker and blues singer Alberta Adams. So, we'll see you then.